And we are back. What up, y'all? This is a sexual intellectual podcast. I am your host, JD, aka He Who Pods. And so here I am reporting live from the sea. No, I'm just kidding. But here I am back as promised with another episode this week. Even though we got the bonus joint with my boy Ness, I'm back to give y'all the usual. You know what I'm saying? The regular, as they say. So let's get to it. And like, there's so much to talk about. We might run out of time. If we do, I'll be giving y'all another pod real soon. So keep an eye out. And excuse the glare for those watching. I appreciate y'all. Probably no glasses next pod. Okay, we'll work on that. But in the meantime, my ring light is here with us. You know what I mean? And for those watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for those who are listening. Shout out to everybody who's listening. Shout out to everybody who's hitting me up after they listen to this. Don't forget to leave your comments, your thoughts in the comments. All right. Now let's get to it. All right. Last pod, it was a while ago, but last pod we spoke about Bumble making changes. Well, they're not done yet. And so we go to the New York Post, ladies and gentlemen. This article says Bumble, that's right, Bumble wants AI dating concierge. Nope. The headline reads Bumble wants to let AI dating concierge do the dating for you. All right? That's the headline. Here you go. Bumble won't just help you find a date, it will date for you. Bumble's founder, Whitney Wolfe Herd, who recently stepped down as CEO, recently addressed how the dating app will utilize artificial intelligence while appearing at the Bloomberg Technology Summit just last week. It doesn't say just. I'm saying just to be clear. Read more. Yes, I like to read more. She revealed the app will use the advanced technology to help swiping singles narrow down their matches and not just improve people's flirting, but also do it for them. Quote, there is a world where your dating concierge could go and date for you with another dating concierge, Wolfhard said, according to The Independent. And more quotes. Then you don't have to talk to 600 people. It will go scan all of San Francisco for you and say, these are the 3 people you really ought to meet. That's the power of AI when harnessed the right way. This new feature could help the wave of singletons. That's a funny term. Of singletons reporting dating fatigue who have become exhausted by the disposable dating culture of seemingly endless matches. Earlier this year, Hinge CEO Justin McLeod revealed in an interview with the Financial Times that dating app fatigue is usually due to one of 2 reasons. One, it is that you're overwhelmed. There's so much activity and so many people, and everything starts to look the same, and conversations are dying. A little dramatic for y'all, I mean. The other reason, he said, is a lack of reciprocation. Quote, at the other end of the spectrum, a lot of users get very, very little activity. They burn out because they're trying to get that match and they send a lot of likes, but they're not even getting enough reciprocal activity to go on one date. And so there you have it, folks. I'm not going to read the whole article. Y'all can go find it if y'all want to read the rest. But wow, Bumble, they are shaking things up. They are truly trying to step the dating game up. I'm very curious, what do y'all think about this? Do you think AI should be allowed to do the dating for you? Do you think that AI can truly manage your dating preferences and screen who you should be dating? Do we trust AI to communicate with other AI and sort out if you're truly worth the time and energy to date? I don't know. What do y'all think? Put it in the comments. Let's move right along. Now, shout out to the person who sent me this. Thou know who thou art. Yes, I'm saying it wrong and silly on purpose, folks. This is from The Cut, and it's a little spicy for y'all. And so the headline reads, I'm not a cheater, I'm a cake eater. Talking to the adulterers who are happily married and seeking out other partners on the side. Polyamory wasn't on the table for Alyssa, a 30-year-old Canadian woman who had been in a serious relationship for 8 years before she started hooking up with an old friend. Neither was breaking up with her boyfriend, who had lost interest in sex. Quote, one evening while he was away, we were talking on the phone and had a fight, says Alyssa, who, like everyone else in this story, requested a pseudonym. After I hung up on him, I contacted a friend who lived nearby to talk and cheer me up, since he lived within walking distance from my apartment. I did not expect to at the time, but that evening I hooked up with said friend, and it was a bit of a Pandora's box from there on. The hookups continued, but so did her relationship with the boyfriend. After not getting a match for a while, it was like getting a fresh, cold, I read it wrong, my bad. After not getting much for a while, it was like getting a fresh, cold bottle of water after walking through the desert, she says. Alyssa is one of many who see themselves as having their cake and eating it too. People who maintain quote unquote monogamous relationships with a committed partner while secretly having affairs on the side. This, of course, is a dynamic as old as time. Cheating is nothing new. Facts. Like so many other sexual identities, a community has more recently emerged around it. Cake eaters, as they call themselves, are defined as a person who is married, generally happy and satisfied, has regular sex with their significant other, is not planning on divorcing or separating or looking for an exit affair, and is additionally having sex with other partners, according to the Reddit Cake Eater subreddit. And that, my friends, is the term of the week, thanks to a special friend and The Cut. Cake eaters, greedy bastards, sneaky motherfuckers, people who should be wearing, as Martin Lawrence once said, sneaky salmon. Hey, listen, I keep telling y'all, if you hear me on this podcast or Man Cave Monday or any of the other places I'm at, weeknight, shout out to Dashing D. Hey, people like labels. And so this is not surprising to me that they've come up with a phrase to go with their foul, fanatic behavior. I've dealt with cake eaters, but they just wanted a term for it. We just called them greedy, cheating motherfuckers, whether we were also sleeping with them or not, because this description fits somebody who's greedy. A term of the week, ladies and gentlemen, cake eaters. Let's move on. I told y'all last pod that we were going to talk about some raunchy stuff this time. It wasn't all going to be the same old thing. So let's keep it there. Let's keep it spicy. Now we go to Forbes, folks. Forbes. And here we go. This one reads the headline: How a Sex Recession May Affect Workplace Leadership. What? Yep. Workplace leadership. A phenomenon known as the sex recession has drawn increased attention from psychologists, sociologists, and now perhaps surprisingly, from business leaders and HR professionals. In 2023, Psychology Today highlighted the discussion on how sex affects leadership. It stated, one study found that sexually active individuals tended to have higher levels of self-confidence and self-esteem, and they're less than, not and, let's go back. It stated, one study found that sexually active individuals tend to have higher levels of self-confidence and self-esteem than their less sexually active counterparts. This recession, a significant decline in sexual activity among adults, particularly young adults, carries implications far beyond the bedroom. It influences general well-being, social dynamics, and yes, even workplace performance and leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, first identified, it doesn't say ladies and gentlemen, that's me. First identified through surveys and research studies, the latest trend of abstinence has sparked wide ranging debates about its causes, from digital distractions and social media to economic pressures and shifting social norms. The Institute for Family Studies reported the downward trend in the number of Americans reporting sex at least once a week steadily continued, sinking to 33% in 2021 before rebounding slightly to 35% in 2022. Although the numbers have fluctuated since the pandemic, they have yet to reach 50% since the late 80s. The late 80s? Hey, yo! 30 plus years. Wow. The surge of endorphins and other happiness inducing hormones related to sexual activity, such as dopamine and oxytocin, play a pivotal role in shaping leadership mindsets. Leaders who experience higher levels of these hormones tend to demonstrate more empathy, patience, and creativity in their roles. These emotional and psychological boosts can enhance decision making and foster innovation and collaboration. What they say, oh, wait, one little piece here. Okay, they about to say what I was about to say. How is it affecting your leadership? Leadership isn't just about setting targets and driving revenue. It's profoundly about understanding and navigating the personal and social dynamics that influence your team's performance. All right, listen. Beyond the physical act, sex fosters intimate connections, which are foundational for emotional support and understanding between partners. These intimate connections contribute significantly not only to increased hormone levels, but also to increased happiness. Listen, man, what they saying is if you stressed out, if you quote unquote backed up, if you ain't let one off in a minute, it's hard to really have certain, listen, man, you be extra tense, you know, quicker to snap at people. Hey, yo, Deborah, I told you, you gotta change the toner. Stop asking me about the copy machine, all right? Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You be upset. I don't even know a Deborah in person that I could think of. So used to know a Deborah, that was a long time ago. But anyway, yeah, so you know, uh this is affecting the workplace. And so I don't know what advice to give y'all, but if your boss, manager, superior, supervisor, whatever term you like, that next person up in the chain of command, if they're being a dick, perhaps it's because they ain't getting no dick. Or whatever they prefer to use, have, insert, etc. Y'all know what I'm saying. So I thought this was interesting. We all know, you gotta release the endorphins and you gotta I don't know how to say it, but you got to do what to do. You know what I'm saying? And so I understand everyone is not able to do that. Totally get it. And if abstinence is rising, then so are these tensions and pressures. Makes logical sense to me. But hey, now you know maybe why your boss is the way that they are. So, don't go yell at Deborah in the copy machine. Just, never mind. In weird news, and I'm gonna shut up about dating apps for a while after this. But apparently people are using LinkedIn as a dating app. LinkedIn though, LinkedIn, they ain't paid me. This ain't an ad. I just think this is weird. I'm gonna just report it and keep it pushing here. It says here. This is a Yahoo article, by the way. A lot of times they outsource. I don't know if this one's outsourced, but anywho, it says here why single people are using LinkedIn as a dating app. If you haven't already heard, singles are turning to LinkedIn as a dating app. From one woman who went viral on TikTok for sharing, she uses the professional networking site to find potential matches because she can filter by education, industry, looking at doctor, lawyer, finance bro, that's a quote, and country to those sharing their LinkedIn love stories. But why are some singles, particularly Gen Z and millennials who are used to utilizing social apps, claiming to have more success on the business site than on sites like and on the likes of Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble? Man, Bumble keep coming up. And is merging our professional and personal life in an online space designed for this purpose really okay? Question mark. Here we consult BACP registered relationships counselor Lisa Spitz and Georgina Sterner about what might be driving this steer in people's behavior when looking for love. Okay, it says when dating sites and apps emerged onto the scene, Sturmer says they offered a welcome opportunity for people who struggle to meet prospective dates. They helped us to connect. However, she adds, since their inception, the landscape of social media has changed the online world, and it feels as if these dating apps have followed suit. For some users, what used to be fun and exciting opportunity to meet someone new has become an overwhelming and addictive frenzy of scrolling and swiping. Something that used to help us connect with others has started to make us feel more disconnected and potentially more alone and anxious. By contrast, she says, a site like LinkedIn offers something slightly different, a way of connecting with other people without dating being at the fore, a way of gaining a real glimpse into someone's life, or at least their professional life, rather than simply viewing an identikit. Ooh, I like that. Identikit profile and a couple of pictures. Identikit. Nice. I'm gonna stop there. Y'all can go look it up, but I just thought it was really interesting that LinkedIn is being used for dating. They should do like Facebook and just do Facebook dating. They should just do LinkedIn dating if they want to monetize. LinkedIn, by the way, that's just one of my many ideas. You know, I've got plenty of others. If you want to cut a check, holla at your boy. This could be sponsored by LinkedIn. The whole pod. Anyway, enough whoring myself out. Let's get serious now. Leaving that world, let's talk about something I find to be very important and necessary to share. This actually just came out a day or so ago at the time I'm recording this. And so it says here, this is from Newsweek. It says drinking water warning in New York as mayor issues emergency request. And so I'm just going to read a little bit of this. It's a long article to read. And really, if you're not from New York, you probably don't give a fuck. But it's important. And a lot of my peoples is in New York, so hopefully they hear this. Found concerning levels of 1,4-dioxane, a possible carcinogen, in all 9 wells in the village of Hempstead, New York. Mayor Waylon Hobbs Jr. hopes that the federal government will cover the cost of a new water treatment system, considering the village's water system is more than 100 years old. However, it could take years to complete. That was the end of the sentence. I was like, wait a minute, I missed something. However, it could take years to complete. Hempstead has requested the federal government fund a new water treatment system that will remove 1,4-dioxane and PFAS, or forever chemicals. I spoke about forever chemicals before. They're in New York. Cuídate. Be careful. Watch your back. The facility is priced at $55 million, and the village board has approved efforts to pursue a $50 million bond to start the project, and that is via news station ABC. Hobbs also spoke to the Post and said, "We will not allow the village of Hempstead to be another Flint." Hobbs told the New York Post on Tuesday. And Newsweek reached out and haven't heard back from him. Yeah, it says here, while they figure shit out, it says the wait also means residents will be exposed to the water, but the New York State Department of Health said the water does not pose a significant health risk and remains acceptable for all uses, even though the maximum containment levels, or MCLs, for 1,4-dioxane were reached. So, all right, this is the quote, and then I'll stop. MCLs are set well below levels known to cause health effects. While the water supply has had samples that tested higher than the maximum containment level, they have taken interim steps to minimize 1,4-dioxane in delivered water, the department said in a statement, according to WABC. Okay, so I'm going to come back very soon with more on the forever chemicals and how to possibly get rid of them. I think it's important, and it's a research project I want to try to at least do a little bit of research on. I mean, it's probably a big project. I don't know. But I think it's worth us all looking into how do we get rid of these quote unquote forever chemicals? What can we do? But I just want y'all to understand that this is not a small thing. This is coming up in more and more states, more and more cities. And so, yeah, that water situation is crazy, and we have to be very careful, all of us. And let's keep it on water, all right? This is from The Hill. Headline reads, boiling tap water may be solution to microplastics. Worried about plastic pollution in your tap water? Try boiling it, a new study suggests. Boiling tap water can destroy at least 80% of 3 of the most common plastic compounds that can be found in your water. Geez, I combined water and according. Let's try it again. Boiling tap water can destroy at least 80% of 3 of the most common plastic compounds that can be found in your water, according to findings published Wednesday in Environmental Research Letters. This means drinking tap water that has been boiled, something commonly done in East Asian kitchens already, may be a safer bet than drinking bottled water. Columbia researchers found last month that bottled water can contain up to 250,000 fragments of nanoplastics per liter. Yeesh. All right. So the researchers looked at the impacts of boiling on 3 compounds that have been found in water. I am not pronouncing these words, but yeah, they're microplastics. Because these compounds don't fully break down, they ultimately fragment into nanoplastics, the approximate size of a virus, making them the ideal size to wreak havoc with the machinery of human cells and to cross through key protective filters like the intestinal lining and blood-brain barrier. All right, let's fast forward. In the study, scientists put the 3 plastic compounds into quote unquote hard water, a common type of U.S. fresh water that contains high levels of calcium carbonate and magnesium. These compounds are characteristics of groundwater pulled from cavities in underground limestone deposits, a rock that is mostly made of calcium carbonate. When the plastic containing, one word, hyphenated, water was boiled, these calcium carbonates formed tiny clumps around most of the microplastics, trapping them within and rendering them harmless. Quote, this simple boiling water strategy can decontaminate nano and microplastics, or NMPs, from household tap water and has the potential for harmlessly alleviating human intake of NMPs through water consumption, the report's authors wrote. So this is a way to possibly get rid of the microplastic. Microplastic is something that we see. Forever chemicals and microplastics are something that are popping up more and more in water, in the products that we consume as well. And so I wanted to share that. I know it said East Asian markets or kitchens, East Asian kitchens do it, but Black folks been boiling water forever. Like, I mean, I know people who still boil water, even though they buy bottled water or have a filter. I know people who boil the water, wait for it to cool, and then put it in the filter, the water filters. You know, yes, it's like another step, but it may be a good way to stop these plastics from entering our bodies. It was only one study, so I guess we'll see what other studies say as time passes. But something that I thought I should pass along to the audience here, to y'all, and maybe it'll be helpful. Something to consider if you don't already boiling your water. All right, we are already past the usual 20 minutes. I just wanted to go a little OT, a little overtime, since it's been a while since I did a regular episode. But we are going to go now into the quickie segment. Okay. Here it comes. Quickies. AP News reports. TikTok content creators sue the U.S. government over the law. that could ban the popular platform. 8 TikTok content creators sued the U.S. government on Tuesday. This was 10 days ago. Issuing another challenge to the new federal law that would ban the popular social media platform nationwide if its China based parent company doesn't sell its stakes within a year. That's it. We move on. Next one. Quickies, baby. Y'all know how we do. We just say what it is and we keep it going. All right. Now we go to routers. White House directs NASA to create time standard for the moon. That's right. April 2nd, the White House directed NASA to establish a unified standard time for the moon and other celestial bodies as the United States aimed to set international norms in space amid a growing lunar race among nations and private companies. I'm gonna read one more paragraph and then I'm out because this I don't even want to say nothing on this. I just had to. Head of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policies, or OSTP, according to a memo seen by Reuters, instructed the space agency to work with other parts of the U.S. government to devise a plan by the end of 2026 for setting what it called a Coordinated Lunar Time, LTC. We out. I leave that one alone for y'all. Y'all can have fun in the comments with that one. Now, I'm going to save this term of the week actually for next week. And I'm going to hit this last one for y'all. Here we go. Intuit's TurboTax lost 1 million free users this tax season. This is according to Bloomberg. Intuit Inc. reported a tax season revenue that exceeded estimates as more customers opted for higher price features. Still, the shares fell on investor concerns about a loss in the number of people who used the company's TurboTax service for free. That's because last year we found out, for those who didn't already know, that TurboTax was fucking people over and they got in trouble. That's why cats figure, let me pay and not use the free joint. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, mic drop. I'm out. See y'all real soon. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Thank you for still being here. Adios.